My friends, welcome back. In today's News Daily video, we have 3 big stories to break down today. Here are the latest reports surrounding a massive, surprising shock move for free agent Sergio Aguero this summer. You guys need to hear the story. For the next 2 stories, we have some further updates in regards to Rudiger and contract talks. And of course, you guys, there is more Erling Haaland news. I'm getting gassed already. I'm still feeling the energy from yesterday's performance, you guys. But honestly, this club is on the rise. We are on the rise. We are only going up. And Erling Haaland could be the icing on what is already a beautiful cake, you guys. So I hope you enjoy. If you're still gassed from the performance last night, then you guys need to hit that like button. I want to get over 2,000 likes for today's video. But before I continue on, massive shout out to Super 6 for sponsoring Blue Lines TV. Now, as I'm sure you guys already know, I was featured in the 3rd episode of the whole The L series, and I'm going to play you guys a quick clip from that 3rd episode.
Between Chelsea and Arsenal, who is it?
I mean, it has to be us, I think. Is it even really... If you look at Arsenal's league form, since like the 14-15 season or 15-16 season, that's the last time Arsenal got in the UCL. Since then, every season, been going lower and lower down the table, very, very slowly, until we're finally seeing the season we're seeing now. So obviously, you know, I do feel like looking in towards the future is also equally important as also respecting the past as well, because, you know, it's all about the present. It's all about what happens tomorrow. It's all about what you're building to get that success, to grow and improve. And you look at Arsenal compared to us, it feels like 2 different stories. And obviously, you guys heard my thoughts, and I have to keep it real, but I just feel that as the future goes on, within the next 5 or even 10 years, am I going to see Arsenal Football Club in the top 4 race? Honestly, I don't think so. I don't see it coming, you guys, considering that they have a very imbalanced team. You know, some very old players on big contracts, on big wages, mixed alongside some very exciting, however quite inexperienced youth who, even though they're talented, they aren't on the same level as ours. Don't be surprised to see Arsenal out of the contention for the top 4, and of course out of the discussion when it comes to the big boys doing it year by year, season by season, getting themselves UCL spots, you guys. But they're my thoughts and opinions. Of course, if you guys want to show us some love, show us some support, in the card above and in the description below, there is going to be a link to the full episode featuring me, you guys. I'd really be appreciative if you go give it a look, give it a click. Of course, interact with my comment in that video too. But now, you guys, for the first story, we need to discuss these Sergio Aguero links. Now, this story came from the Daily Mail, and it reports that Aguero at this point in time is feeling quite disillusioned with life at Man City. Since he's returned back from injury, he hasn't been given that same spot in the first team like before his injury, and the reality is that his contract does expire this summer. He is going to be available for free, and regardless of the fact that he is 33 years old, he is one of the greatest Premier League strikers of all time. Now, naturally, when you have a player of his caliber available on the free, clubs like us, Barcelona and Paris Saint-Germain are showing interest in the possibility of bringing him to their clubs. And the report does state that if Aguero had to leave Man City, ideally he prefers to remain in the Premier League, and for me this makes a ton of sense. Ideally he wants to try and break more records, he wants to score more goals. So I fully rate that ambition. And right now, you guys, of course, I'm going to give my thoughts and opinions. We look at football right now, and the reality is this game is completely different to what it used to be. With how sports science has only improved and gone up levels as the years have gone on, naturally, players can play for longer, they can remain fitter for longer, and most importantly, they can maintain their high-level game for much longer these days, you guys. We're seeing it with your Edison Cavani's, we're seeing it at our own club with Olivier Giroud, and of course, one of the signings of the season in Thiago Silva. So, based on that logic, Sergio Aguero could be the smartest signing to make for us if next season really is about making a title challenge. Now, Aguero, as he says, would like to remain in the Premier League, and for me to win the Premier League, ideally you want to have that perfect blend of experience and youth. Aguero, he's been there, he's done that, he knows the league. You can rely upon him in those certain moments to produce the goods when you need it, and as we've seen this season with very young, exciting, talented guys that will get to those levels one day, at times we're seeing that inefficiency when it comes to putting the ball in the back of the net. Me personally, I could see Aguero doing the streams in London. You know what I mean? If you guys don't know Aguero, all of a sudden he's become a massive YouTuber as well. I mean, come on, man, just being so greedy right now. Already a world-class striker, famous across the world, and one of the biggest YouTubers on top of that too. Just, leave some for us, yeah? Would you be happy to see AGUERO signing for us? State your reasons why. Because for me, it would follow a trend we've seen over the past few years where strikers that we originally linked with back in their heyday, back in their prime, who became very close to signing but just weren't able to get, we eventually signed in the end after many, many years. We saw that with Falcao, we saw this with Samuel Eto'o as well, and could this be the same thing with Sergio Aguero? Now for me, there's a story surrounding Aguero and this club that just really hurts you guys. All the way back in the day, 2009, we came extremely close to signing Aguero from Atleti back when he was 21 years old. At the time, a fee was agreed for around 40 million. However, you might be wondering, okay, we agreed the fee, what the hell happens? How do we deny ourselves one of the greatest strikers over the past 10 years? The reality is, Roman did not want to pay Aguero's agent Santin the 5 million agent fees that he wanted, and on top of that, Aguero wanted 6 million a year, which would have made him probably the highest paid player at the club during that point in time. So, it's so funny looking back at these older stories and seeing just how far football's really evolved. Right now, fees like that are absolutely nothing. Wages like that are absolutely nothing. And for me, it just sums up some of our dead transfer policies back in the day. I mean, we really stopped ourselves signing some talents. Dani Alves, that still hurts. Hulk. I can go on, you guys. I don't understand, because the following year, we then spent 50 million to sign Fernando Torres, and yeah, that's the reality of our club and signing talents. So it does feel like over the past recent seasons, there's a reason why we're not looking to make those same mistakes now in regards to the captures of Havertz and this move for Erling Haaland. So, I feel like I'd be content with Aguero signing. Of course, what's this going to mean for Tammy and Giroud? We're going to find out. But as I'm saying, you guys, for this story, comment below. Would you like to see Sergio Aguero signing for us for next season? You guys got to let us know. And now, we move on to the second story, and there's more Erling Haaland news. Now, don't get tired of these reports, you guys. As we know, we are getting ever so closer to the summer period, and considering that everyone in the world knows that we are after Haaland as our #1 target, you can expect the stories to come thick and fast, probably every single week, to be honest. So right now, there are some updated reports coming from the German publication Kicker that state that Abramovich has promised Tuchel, as long as he secure Champions League football for next season, I will get you Erling Haaland. Now, if you're Tuchel, how much more motivation do you actually need? I mean, can you imagine that? You're Tuchel, you get to work with one of the most exciting young players in world football, one of the best ones by a country mile as well. And the reality is, most likely, we are going to get a top 4 finish. Is this going to happen, you guys? Well, there are more updates surrounding this story. Now, as Kicker do state, Haaland will make a decision alongside his agent Mino Raiola when it comes to the signing of his next club. And one thing we know with Mino Raiola is that if we have the money to not only afford his clients, but also pay his massive agent fees, then you have a massive probability of signing one of his guys. We saw this ourselves. We really thought that we were close to signing Lukaku, but in the end, Raiola the entire time was pushing him towards Man United because he did not like how we were negotiating with him and how we never wanted to pay the agent fees he wanted. So this meant that we missed out on Lukaku, we missed out on Paul Pogba, but it seems like right now, with just how adamant Roman is when it comes to signing Haaland, agent fees feels like that will be absolutely no issue, because the reality is, if you're signing Haaland, you have to pay the big bucks to him and to Raiola to sign one of his clients. At this point in time, we do have some news surrounding Haaland and his available price tag, and his value is set at around 150 million euros, which is basically between 128 million euros and 130 million euros. So considering the agent fees on top, this could easily be 150 million euros, and considering that Roman is adamant that he wants his man, I think that tells us that price is no issue when it comes to getting this deal done. The report states that due to this recent revelation, this means that both us and Real Madrid are now much higher up the pecking order compared to clubs like your Barcelonas, your Uniteds, and your Man Cities too. So, well, I'm not going to get too gassed. I know after that massive result yesterday, but it feels like special things are coming, you guys. If you're Haaland, you look at this club, the location. If you're young, you want to be a millionaire in London. I mean, it's that simple. We're a club last night that made a massive statement across Europe in regards to the manner in which we beat Atletico. Haaland has the opportunity to sign for one of the most exciting projects in world football right now. We have some of the best young players currently doing it, and he could be leading the line for one of the most exciting teams. I know, don't get too excited, but every time reports come, the hope keeps rising, and in the comments below, give your thoughts and opinions. Is Haaland coming? Do you feel like we can capture him? Let us know below. And now, to end things with the final story today, we have some updates in regards to Rudiger and his current contract talks. Now again, this came out from Germany, and it states that at this point in time, Rudiger is not interested in continuing talks until the end of this summer's Euros. Now, with previous reports, we already know that the club are really hoping to secure Rudiger on a new contract extension before this summer's Euros. At this point in time, Rudi's current contract does expire in 2022, and even though Rudiger is happy to remain at the club, he's very content with his life in London, and of course playing under Tuchel, who has used him in 11 out of 12 games, Rudiger feels like yes, he can really settle down here. However, the reality is that at the start of the season, he came close to leaving the club. Rudiger admitted this himself in his press conference for the Atleti game, by saying that both Spurs and both Paris Saint-Germain were very interested in signing him. So it makes a ton of sense, you know. Before you commit to a new long-term deal, you want certain assurances, because the reality is Rudiger is in the prime of his years right now. He's hoping to play consistently. He wants to be part of the club that have that faith in him. And before he commits some of the most crucial years of his career, he needs those guarantees that he still has a significant part of the future at this club. So there you have it, you guys. They were the 3 reports to come out for today. Some big stories. I mean, this summer is shaping up to be even more exciting than last year's, in my personal opinion. And what does this say about the future and progression of this beautiful club? I mean, honestly, as a Chelsea fan, this is some of the most exciting times right now. So there you have it, you guys. I'm the EFC. This is Blue Line TV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos.